Welcome back to Do Mining, where we actually do some crypto mining, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Asus Prime Z370 chipset. Going to answer some questions about can you even mine with it, how many cards can you mine, and is it cost effective? Because that's what matters, right? So let's get right to it right now. Okay, and here we have the Asus Prime Z370-P chipset. I've got a rig here actually mining right now. You guys probably hear a lot of maybe some noise in the background. If you're new to mining, you'll get used to that in a hurry, both in how-to videos and in your own house. So hopefully you've thought about the noise that comes with it. Without a doubt, I can say from experience, I don't suggest that a new miner do anything other than track down something that starts with Asus. I've had a lot of different boards, worked with a lot of different BIOSes, and I would have to say that Asus in particular is the best at basically meeting the needs of the crypto miners. Now you see some other companies out there, MSI in particular, that's kind of made a decision to kind of focus more on the gaming aspect. That's kind of their bread and butter, and so there's even questions about whether they're even going to be supporting this kind of thing in the future, if they want anything to do with it. Asus definitely has made a very clear stance on this board right here being the board and the chipset that they actually want to help with mining. And we know this because basically they've built these boards out and built the support to actually support enough lanes for the boards to actually facilitate 8 cards. Now, not all the Asus boards do this, and this is really important for you to know. It's very important that you know that if you're going to be in the market for a crypto mining motherboard, you're going to definitely be wanting to look at either a P or an A, and I can put links to that down below. I'll put the links down below for both the 270 and the 370s. But let's go ahead and kind of take a look at the 370.
Here we have
I currently have 8 cards. I can confirm it here. I have 8 cards running.
One of the
and we're going to go ahead and take a peek at that
as far as a cost-effective rig. So nothing fancy here in regards to how we're setting it up and things like that. I'll definitely do some additional episodes on how you can save a lot of money and be cost-effective when you're mining, because at the end of the day, that ROI is really important. And almost everyone actually miscalculates the proper real ROI, and we definitely want to help you get to that ROI as quickly as possible. That way you own these machines, right? You should never invest what you can't afford to lose, but crypto mining is one of the best ways. It's what I would advise anyone getting into the space to do. That maybe you're not a trader and you're into that kind of crypto stuff. Maybe you just want to support the concept of decentralization and things like that. This is definitely where I would point people to if they want to support those kind of concepts. So here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Got all 8 rigs cards on here. This is actually just pushing some nice Founders Editions NVIDIA 1070s at the moment. I can definitely put on some TIs. I could go to 1080s, things like that with this rig. But those are just the cards that I have running, just to show you guys that this is pretty easy, pretty plausible to get 8 cards running. And that's what you want to know, right? You want to know that the Z370s actually are capable of running 8. I can confirm that this has been running super stable. In fact, this particular rig, since I set it up, it has not had one single issue. No shutting down, no restarting, no bad riser issues, no power supply issues, no hard drive issues, no processor or M2 riser issues. Everything about this machine is ultra stable, and in many of my videos I'll be going over some tips and tricks to make sure that you do it right the first time, so that when it's set up you just let it run. I think that most people don't quite know how difficult it is to get their first one set up, but I'll try to help you guys out. Make sure you leave some questions down in the comments section. I'll try to answer those with videos. Be happy to do that for you.
So right here you can actually see this board in particular. This is the P. The P is going to have an M2 riser right here. You guys can see right here. M2 riser goes in right here. You're going to have to purchase that separately. I can put a link in the description below as well for some M2s. If you're not familiar with mining, you're going to need to have these risers to get to 8 cards. Right here you've got another M2. So this board has 2 M2 slots. This is the P. If you want to go with the 370A as an apple, it will absolutely have an additional M2 slot, which is pretty awesome. It's actually why it's the most popular mining board. That allows you to put a M2 SSD into one of these slots, and instead of having a hard drive plugged in, it's very, very effective, cost effective in the super long run as far as electricity costs to go ahead and have an M2 on board. It's also sleek, stylish, kind of keeps things more simple. You have less wires. You know, I'll come around to the back side and show you what a like here in a second. But there's a little bit of a rat's nest right here. All these wires, even this wire right here is going to the hard drive. You know, it just kind of helps clean it up a little bit. Running 8 gigs of memory, DDR4. Keep that in mind. You must get DDR4. You can't get DDR3. Now here's the thing with the 370, guys. You guys are probably wondering, or you're asking me, well, you know, I heard that the 370s only work with the 8th gen processor, and that's true. So right here I've got the 8th gen Core i3. It's a little hard to see there with the light bouncing off of it there, but got a Core i3 here. This is a LGA 1151 chipset, and this is Intel's 8th gen chipset, and I'm talking about this right now because it's really important. This right here is actually the entry-level processor for 370 Intel chipset motherboards. All of them. Not just this one in particular, but all of them require this guy right here at a minimum. Now this costs a little bit more. You know, you can't choose the old school Celrons and things like that to run your mining rigs if you choose to go to a 370. Now, it's going to cost you more money. Okay, guys? The 370s are more expensive because you have to step up to the plate and purchase one of these. And these are going to cost you 2 to 3 times as much as you would typically pay for a processor that runs on a 270. Okay? So, now let's keep that in mind. I want to remind you guys, this is really important. You know, if you're watching this video and you actually care about it and you're to this point in the video, you need to know this. Z370-P. That 370 requires the newer 8th gen Intel processors. You will spend more money. Even though the 370 chipset, this board right here, costs the same as the old 270 at retail, you're going to pay more for the processor. Now you're asking, well, is it worth it? Do I need to spend more money? Well, right now I know that the 270s, you can't even buy them on the market right now. So right here I actually have a 270 chipset. This is an A. And right now this particular motherboard is selling for twice the retail value on eBay.com. And you guys just need to be aware of that. That basically crypto mining's exploded. These boards are becoming harder to find. I do not know how long Asus plans to continue production of the Z370-A or -P or any of the 270s. But eventually they will get discontinued. Eventually this will be outdated technology. So keep that in mind as well, guys. You know, maybe it's not so bad of an idea for you to go ahead and spend the money and pick this guy up, spend a little extra, because no one can predict the future. And if crypto mining dries up sooner than people think, well, at least you have a legitimately very nice computer to work with here, right? And then you sell off your GPUs and things like that. You know, it's also just a good exit strategy. I know a lot of people get into mining and they very quickly learn it's not for them, or they thought that it would be just a fun, easy hobby to make some money. There's a lot more to it than that. And you guys will learn a lot about that in my other videos.
but just something to keep in mind. I would strongly suggest to any new crypto miner to go ahead and pay the few extra bucks if you're new. Think of it as an insurance plan, an exit strategy, to go ahead and get the newer Z370-P along with the LGA 1151 8th gen. I'll put a link down below so you guys can't screw it up. Make sure you get the right one on Amazon. Get it over to your house, you plug it in, and it will be a breeze. Now, I love this rig right here, guys. I'm in love with the 370s myself. They've updated the BIOS. It's super flexible, super simple. Yeah, but at the same time, it's very, very similar to the 270. So if you can get your hand on a 270 and save the money, I would go that route. But that's only if you can actually get it at retail price. If you can't get it at retail price right now, just don't do it. Just go ahead and spend, I mean, this is actually the same price right now to pay for the 370p and the Core i3 than it is to go and buy this guy right here and get the cheap processor, because this guy right here, again, on eBay right now, selling for at least $100 more than it should be, and that's just because this is in such high demand. So, and that goes for basically both the Z270-A and the 270-P. Alright? So that's pretty much it, guys. That's what I've got for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Alright, and so that's it, guys. I appreciate you coming by. If you like this content, if you learned something, make sure you subscribe down below. That way you don't miss any other videos. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos. And in case you guys didn't know, I'm actually the host of Do News. People like to call me the King of Do. And definitely want to make sure I invite you over to that channel as well. I will leave a link at the end here for you guys to click to go check out that channel. If you're new to cryptocurrency, maybe you've been around a while, and you're looking for a more mature place to learn about cryptocurrency, you know, you're not really into the pump and dumps and things like that. You're actually really interested in the technology of what drives blockchain, why cryptocurrency is the future, and actual business use cases. You definitely want to check out my channel. We talk about the latest news. You know, we actually investigate together as a community what's working, what's not working, and one of the main reasons I'm doing this mining channel is to actually invite some of the newer people of the community over to that channel to join us, to take a more mature, educated approach to the space. It will help you in your mining endeavors. It's really important you understand that there's a relationship to supply, demand, the ecosystem of people supporting networks, and that mining is a piece of that, just one tiny piece. If you understand the bigger picture, you will be more profitable both in your mining endeavors and in your investments if you choose to invest in the space. And I can't stress that enough. Most people do the return on investments wrong when they get into mining. They typically find that they kind of get stuck at some point. You know, they think that they just buy this stuff and all of a sudden they're going to be making money. That's typically not the case. You know, there's a lot of time, energy, blood, sweat, and tears. Legitimately blood on your fingers. You will get blood on your fingers doing this mining stuff. So a lot of energy, a lot of focus, a lot of learning, takes a lot of intelligence too. You know, the people watching this right now, you're dangerous. You are dangerous because you are on the precipice of becoming a miner or learning how to mine, or maybe you already are a miner. You're a dangerous person because you know, you can actually do this stuff. You can actually contribute. You can actually profit, be rewarded, but you have to do the hard work. It can't all just be what you know. You have to take the action and put it to work, and then you need to continue on that cycle. A lot of people think that mining is about building a machine and sticking it in a window and calling it a day, but it's really not. There's a lot of learning, a lot of education that you've got to wrap your brain around, and you're going to learn a lot about that over on my other channel. The channel is called Do News. I'm the host, the King of Do, and I appreciate you guys coming and checking out the mining channel today, and I hope you guys enjoyed it.
come back again. I'll be doing more how-to videos, doing more reviews of different types of new products on the market for mining. We'll also do a lot of how-tos, just kind of general mining. I think that you'll find this channel be valuable in the long run, so make sure you subscribe. I am the King of Do. May the Force be with you.